Hey, welcome back to the channel, Mama Bear's Homestead and more. This little lean-to area right here, I'm sure you've seen some of it because it's where the fence charger's at. But it's funny because when we originally bought the place and was able to buy this place, we bought the tiny house first, and the barn and the store wasn't on our property. But then the neighbor, she decided she was elderly and she wanted to move to town, so she decided she's going to sell her place, and she asked me if I'd be interested in buying the store, and I said yes, as long as the barn's on that. So we own 3 different parcels here, but we make it work. But anyway, when we got the barn, I was pretty heavily into woodworking, and I got a sawmill too. You guys haven't seen that yet, but I'm sure one of these days we'll get over to the mill to see if we can't get it running again. Way backed up on that, but one project at a time. But anyway, this is just random lumber that I've acquired from a lot of different places. I mean, it's still good lumber, so I don't want to, leave it outside. So we're gonna get this area cleaned up, just for the fact that it's roof space that we're not utilizing, and roof space is one of the things we don't have enough of. But our intentions are getting all these boards outside and then bring them back in and stack. I seen a guy, he had his lumber sorted out, but it was all stacked long ways, and I was like, that's genius. That don't take up near the room. So we're gonna get all this stacked up, thrown up on the wall and shelves, and make it more better. If you haven't went over to Ross the Oliver Man, do so, because he's funny. But that's one thing he says is more better, and I kind of like it. So more better. We're gonna make this more better. So yeah, stay tuned and watch along as we clean this out. And when we get this cleaned out, this will make a great area to get an old freezer down here so we can store our hog feed in. That way we don't have to pack it all the way from the house to down here. So unfortunately, the first round of hog feed we're gonna have to pack down here, but hopefully the second and the third and the fourth, fifth, and forever, we can keep our hog feed down here in a seal tight container, preferably an old freezer if I can find one. So if you got an old freezer and you don't live 400 miles away, hit me up. All right. Did you see that? Did you get that?
No. Y'all just missed it. He almost face planted. First board almost already tried to take him down, so this should be interesting.
Okay.
And the fence is unplugged. Big safety issue here. If we're working down here, if we're getting in and out of the pig pen, this packs a lot of voltage. Unplug it.
Unplug it.
Do you want me to start leaning stuff against the barn? Would that be easier? Okay.
Right or wrong, I don't know. But
The scraps I'm just going to throw to the side.
yeah.
And this is one of those things that just over time, we knew we'd eventually get down here to work on it and to organize it. But it just goes to show that if you have the time when you're accumulating stuff, go ahead and start organizing it if you can, because it's going to save you a lot of work later. Unfortunately, this is what we have.
Don't think you have to do that.
There's usually 2 different types of people. The person that likes to have everything organized from the get-go, and the person that likes organized chaos, and they usually end up marrying each other.
Guess who's who?
the girls laid me an egg.
Yep.
Walking.
Somebody's hollering. And we don't plan on getting this done today. We just want to get a good jump on it.
Yeah, don't think you gotta start and finish every project the same day. Sometimes really you just gotta utilize, if you've got an extra hour, an extra 30 minutes to start whittling away at stuff. And then seeing the progress is a huge deal too. Once you start to see something like this, once we get about half of this lumber out, it's just going to encourage us to work that much harder because we can see the ending in sight.
Hey, look what I just found. It looks like it's an old, it's currently off of an old broom or brush or something, but it's got rubber bristles in it. Tell me a pig wouldn't like to get his back scratched with that. So that just goes to show you, you never have junk. You just got to figure out what you can repurpose it as. An old squeegee? No, it's a pig brush.
And hopefully sometime soon, well, sometime this summer, I'll be able to get in the barn, take y'all in the barn. It's loaded up plumb full of more lumber and junk and just a huge asset that we're not utilizing by any means. But it's going to take some time and some definite effort to get it cleaned out. So stay tuned for that.
I found, I sold this lumber and planed it. This is the trim to finish out our windows. Found that again, so might get to watch that video. Boy, there's a lot of good lumber left in here. I knew it was down here, but I didn't know how much of it was here.
There's not much that freaks me out, and there's not much I'm afraid of. I am a big old sissy when it comes to splinters, so gloves are a must for me.
Like, that's a beautiful piece of cedar. Have no idea what we use it for, but I ain't throwing it away. Good 2x10.
Snacks are important during any project. And let me tell you, over the winter, it's been a long time since I've had a really good strawberry. Dirk's cousin's in FFA, and they were doing a fundraiser selling strawberries, and we just had ours delivered a couple days ago, and they are phenomenal. So make sure you're supporting your local schools, your local school programs, FFA, 4-H, all that. Super important.
I got a couple other things I'd like to support and throw out, make awareness to. This year will be the first year for the Owen Township Roots Festival held in Clear Spring, Indiana. It's May 29th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're gonna have live music, ice cream truck. First 200 people get a free dip of ice cream. And the ice cream truck, it's from Salem, Indiana, 6 scoops.
Delicious. If you've never had it, try it.
So that's one thing I want to promote a lot. And then in Houston, they're having a spring festival. I'm not sure the date on that. I'll have to look that one up.
We'll get back to you.
And then another huge thing when I was a kid there in Brownstown, they had the Watermelon Fest. And it was big when I was a kid, but you know, over time it just died off. And Connor Barnett, he works at the courthouse, but he took it. He's heading this up, and he's bringing the Watermelon Festival back. It's in August. I'm not sure the date on that one either. I'll have to get back with you on that. But 2-day music fest. Got Sarah Evans coming up for Friday night, and Cody Eichert. That's Friday night.
And several others.
Yeah, I think there's 3 or 4 bands on Friday, and then there's like 5 or 7 bands on Saturday. It's gonna be a great time. So don't forget to check out the Watermelon Fest in Brownstown, because I know Connor and a bunch of other people, they've put a lot of time and energy in this to get it back up and going. So we'll definitely support it. We'll be there. We'll be at Clear Spring, or the Owen Township Roots Festival. We'll be there.
And if you're not from Southern Indiana, I know we have watchers everywhere, just get out and support your local community. It's huge. It's extremely important. Community, small businesses, all that, you know, they can't survive without your help. Right. And these big box chains, box stores, you know, the corporations, the people that work there might, I'm sure, care about their customers, absolutely. But the corporations as a whole, money is their bottom line. And that's not the case with these small businesses and everything. They genuinely care about their communities and want to help out and everything. And shout out to the corporations that do also give back. I'm not in any way saying that they don't. No. But it's very important to support local and support small. So we will always be a huge pusher for that. So.
Right. So, Mom and Baby, we better get back after moving some boards around.
Yeah, I guess our breaks lasted long enough. Slave driver, this one.
Yeah, well, if I don't keep her busy, you know, I don't know what she would do.
Probably end up in the chicken barn.
Hey, looky there, just like that. We got all the lumber out of here. Found some 1/2 inch wide by, I don't know, 2-3 inches. It's trim is what it is. But I think we're going to just start hanging it up to seal that off, just to keep the weather out and stuff like that. I mean, it ain't good for anything else, and it really ain't good for that, but we got it to have nothing in it, so all it's going to cost us is screws and our time, so might as well make use of it.
And then this is everything that we uncovered. Sorry for the sniffles. We're both sneezing like crazy now, knocking up all that dust and dirt. But all that and all that standing lumber was just laying in there, cluttering up the joint. So I've got some good stuff to work with now.
I had no plan on getting this deep into this project today, but we got it cleaned out quicker than what I thought we would. We found a lot of usable stuff. Like I said earlier, the trim pieces we're going to put up just to block the weather out. If they last a year, that was the year that they lasted. But anyway, I went back up to the carport to my shop area, and I didn't know what kind of tools I need, so I just grabbed it all. So, yeah, we're on. Do some working. The old the old electric that fed this barn came off what is now our neighbor's service. Well, when she bought that place, she's like, I don't want to power your barn. You know, I don't blame her. So they unhooked it. So, and to be honest with you, the electric down here was way sketchy. Fuse panel was exposed to the weather, or the breaker box was exposed to the weather, so a lot of it's rusted out, and so we're just going to just rip all that out, and eventually one day when we get power back down here, we'll put it in right. So yep, I'm going to cut that. I've already got it loose from the wall, and I know the power's dead, so if you're going to cut big power lines, Make sure it's dead. It's not good. No more junky looking electrical panel. So yeah, I'll show you guys the inside of it. It's been like that since I bought the place. Yeah, that looks like a fire waiting to happen. So maybe the neighbor did us a favor by taking our power away from us. But yeah, eventually we'll put a new service panel in here and run it off our service. So, but that might be a year down the road, who knows, but we'll make do with what we got for the time being. But I'm glad to have this old ugly thing out. A little bit.
That?
I think that ain't better, too.
I like it.
Are you level?
Sure.
Level enough.
Level enough.
I'll put my screws in it.
Excuse me.
But yeah, hey, this old shelf was sitting in here doing nothing, and I noticed it had holes in the back, so I'm like, if I screw that in the wall, get it up off the floor and out of the way, we can use it for, you know, electric fence stuff's my first idea to use it for, but I'm sure I'll find something else to use it, catch all. Hey, as you guys seen us earlier, we got all the lumber out of here, and look how much room is in here now that we've got it cleaned out. This shelf was sitting in here doing nothing. But rusting away. But I went ahead and screwed it to the wall, get it up off the floor. Might as well use it, and it's not taking up floor space. But I'll be able to keep this bucket here has an awesome lid on it, so it became my T-post insulators bucket, because I got a bunch of insulators. So that's got insulators in it. Got my electric fence wire. I got the old charger that, you know, I'm too tight to throw away, because I might use that for something else one day. Hammer don't need to go up there because I can't see. But we had some of them step-in plastic electric fence posts. They're not real good, but they do come in handy in occasions. But they're up there on the top. Probably got 10 of them up there. Got extension cord hung up. Got the ladder hung up. It exposed this problem a little more. The posts are rotting off at the bottom, but the roof and stuff still strong and stable, so that's all good. But I don't have enough time right now or the materials to go ahead and replace these posts, but that's coming up here in the near future. I don't think that's going to be that tough of a job, so we'll get that did, and then we'll get lumber put back in here that we're going to save. We did find a bunch that we don't need to save, like that, like I was talking about, that trim stuff. That stuff ain't good for much. But oh yeah, on the trim stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and enclose that back wall with that trim stuff. It might last 6 months or a year, but you know, might as well get some use out of it and no use. So, as we like to say here, keep on keeping on. I'm sure we'll shoot another video in here and show you guys our progress.